Wow. Oh, wow.
Chris Eubank Jr. just shook the internet without even landing a punch. That powerful shot of him draped in thermal wraps, face hidden beneath a towel, body worn, spirit tested, it struck deeper than any knockout blow. Now, the same crowd that built up the fight is quick to label him as weak. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't fragility. This is the battlefield. This is the price of pushing beyond limits, even when the world has already moved on.
Missed weight. Can we stop with the fucking narrative of it's tough? It's tough. It's tough for everybody.
Eddie Hearn's trying to turn a missed weigh-in into some kind of major scandal, like it's the final blow to Eubank Jr.'s career. But let's be honest. One mistake on the scales doesn't define a fighter's legacy. It's the determination and grit that truly matter. While Hearn stirs up drama, Eubank Jr. keeps his eyes on the bigger goal. He didn't get this far to let one setback derail his journey. He's overcome tougher situations and remains focused and unshaken. Meanwhile, Ben seems more interested in pointing fingers than owning up to his own issues. Taking shots at Eubank might seem like strategy, but it only highlights his own insecurities. The reality? Eubank's still in the grind, still rising, and still set to prove he's not going anywhere.
Process, this 48 hours, is very hard for Eubank. And then tomorrow night, it's going to be very hard for my man, in there having a fight with a much bigger man.
Eddie Hearn's out here saying, these 48 hours are a nightmare for Eubank. But let's be honest, pressure is where Eubank performs best. Hearn can hype up the challenge of facing a heavier opponent all he wants. But Eubank Jr. doesn't fold when the stakes are high. He rises. While Hearn tries to turn minor setbacks into drama, Eubank's been tackling far greater challenges throughout his career. Meanwhile, Ben watches from the sidelines, waiting for a misstep. But Eubank's already tuned out the noise and locked in on what really matters, showing up and delivering when it counts. Still with us? Drop a like and hit that subscribe button. Now, let's get back to it. Because as Eubank steps into the fire, Tony Bellew has something to say.
It's unfortunate that he's not made weight. It poses no advantage whatsoever, 0.5 of a pound. I just know how hard it is for him would have been to get that off. He can't. His body's gone into shutdown.
Tony Bellew doesn't hold back when addressing Chris Eubank Jr.'s weight struggle. He delivers a raw, unfiltered perspective. Missing weight by half a pound isn't some tactical edge. It's a sign of just how far Eubank pushed his body. To Bellew, the real headline isn't the miss. It's the suffering behind it. He paints a vivid image of a fighter whose body had simply hit its limit with nothing left to give. This wasn't about a lack of discipline or drive. It was a physical shutdown. Bellew drives the point home. What Eubank went through wasn't just difficult, it was punishing. And in the brutal world of weight cuts, that final ounce can break even the toughest fighters.
Who can handle the pressure and who's a better boxer, and that's Chris Eubank Jr. every day of the week, and I cannot wait to put this to bed on Saturday night.
Ben Shalom doesn't hold back in backing Chris Eubank Jr., firmly stating that when it comes to handling pressure and showcasing true boxing talent, Eubank is in a league of his own. There's no hesitation. Shalom confidently claims Eubank Jr. is the better fighter, day in and day out. His excitement for Fight Night is undeniable. For Shalom, this isn't just another event, it's a defining moment. He sees it as the perfect opportunity to silence the critics and put an end to the debate once and for all. In his eyes, Eubank's poise, skill, and ability to perform when it counts will leave no room for doubt. Interestingly, Dave Allen echoes that same fiery belief, confident that what's coming next will turn heads.
I don't agree with hydration clauses. I don't agree with I don't agree with bringing this fella down at 35 years of age and saying you must weigh this on the day after missing the weight.
Dave Allen doesn't mince words when criticizing the weight and hydration clauses imposed on Chris Eubank Jr. He strongly opposes putting a 35-year-old veteran through such a dangerous cut, only to enforce tight rehydration checks the next day. For Allen, this isn't about missing the mark by a sliver. It's about pushing a fighter's body to the brink for the sake of a tactical advantage. He sees it as a shameful tactic that strays far from the spirit of real boxing. In his eyes, a true contest should be settled by skill and heart inside the ring, not by weakening an opponent beforehand. With Eubank visibly drained and depleted, Conor Benn senses weakness, and he's preparing to exploit it, aiming for a ruthless finish.
If I'm supposed to look scared or intimidated or, I'm neither. And I'm just looking forward to Saturday night. We're here now.
Conor Benn remains ice cold in the face of the weigh-in drama, showing zero signs of fear or doubt. For him, intimidation isn't part of the equation. He's not interested in mind games or showmanship. Benn carries a quiet, calculated intensity that signals real danger. There's no pause, no second guessing, just a burning determination to make a violent statement when the lights come on. As the tension builds around him, Benn stays locked in, tuning out the chaos and preparing to go to war once the bell rings. His fearless mindset is fully backed by his trainer, Tony Sims, who's confident that Benn won't blink, believing wholeheartedly that his fighter will step into the ring and shatter expectations when it matters most.
Shows you there is what 99% of fighters do, to make weight. And as I said, he's made it the last 4 or 5 fights, the 160 limit. So he knows what he has to do to make that weight.
Sims stands his ground when it comes to Conor Benn's weight-cutting approach, making it clear that Benn is following the same protocol used by the vast majority of professional fighters. According to Sims, there's nothing unusual or extreme about the process. Benn has consistently made the 160-pound limit in multiple recent bouts, proving he knows how to handle the demands. Sims underlines that Benn's routine is tried and tested, and he has full confidence in his fighter's preparation and discipline. Despite the outside noise and controversy, he believes Benn will be fully ready to deliver his best when the time comes. Backing this view, Spencer Fearon also argues there's no reason to doubt Benn's ability to make weight, highlighting that proper preparation, not speculation, is what truly determines success in the ring.
Got fighters when it's come to the jumping of weights between welterweights to middleweights. It's never really fared well, but it's fared well for a couple guys.
Spencer Fearon offers a frank and thoughtful take on the risks tied to jumping from welterweight to middleweight. He doesn't sugarcoat it. Making such a leap in weight is no small feat, and history hasn't been kind to many who've tried. While a few fighters have managed to thrive after moving up, Fearon points out that most struggle with the transition. The shift brings real challenges: reduced speed, diminished endurance, and facing naturally bigger, stronger opponents. It's a move that can reshape a career, for better or worse. Fearon emphasizes that this kind of jump isn't just about adding pounds. It takes meticulous planning, the right physical adjustments, and a bit of luck to truly succeed. Though he admits some may defy the odds, the past suggests otherwise. As the spotlight turns to Conor Benn and his decision to take on Eubank Jr., many are wondering whether he's truly ready for the demands of the higher division. For more fight analysis and behind-the-scenes insights, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated.